Good morning everyone and welcome to a vlog on the Theme Park Jack YouTube channel. Today we're here at Banham Zoo in Norfolk. I'm going to take you around the whole park, show you all the animals that they've got, show you how good value for money it is and everything that there is to do here. Here's a look at the map. If you want to have a look at it, you can have a pause. We're going to work our way around in a circle and I'm going to take you around all of the animal exhibits here today. It's cost £20 to get in, and obviously at the end of the video I'll give you a review of it and we'll work out whether or not it's good value for money and whether or not you should spend your time here. Most bird aviaries at zoos and safari parks like this are not very good at all. They usually just got concrete floors and nothing really going on, and they're very small and things like that. But there seems to be a lot of birds here, and all of them seem to have really nice aviaries. I mean, the ones at, for example, Moseley Safari Park are not very good at all, and these are a million worlds better. They really are. They look so much nicer and they're so much more interesting for their animals, and yeah, lots more to do for them in there. So this is something really cool that you don't often see. So they've got black howler monkeys in there, and they let them out along here, and they can go through the trees. Not something that you see very often. So I've only been in Banham Zoo about half an hour at most, and already I do have to say I'm very impressed. I mean, you don't often get penguin enclosures that look anything like this. The vast majority of them that you see, you just get a little concrete lake. There's nothing else besides that, and just a little walkway where you can just stand and look at them. With this, you actually come into a closed off area and you can walk around and just look at the amount of space that all of the animals have got to roam around. It's It's absolutely great. There's loads of it. And then they've got little passages that go under the walkways as well. And then a massive lake right over there. I think it's absolutely brilliant, this, to be honest. This penguin enclosure is very good, and from what I've seen so far, all the animal enclosures look to be very spacious for them, and they look very appealing as well, and they just look like a lot more like the natural environment that these animals would have, as just to oppose to a bit of a concrete lake like you see at most animal parks and safari parks, which, no, I'm really impressed so far. There really are loads of walk-through animal exhibits here, which is really good. I mean, that's the best one, where you haven't got a massive cage around and you can just walk in and just have a little wooden fence, and it allows you to get up a lot closer to the animals, and obviously for me to get better pictures of them. But it's just nicer all round. You can get a far nicer view of the animals. So there are quite a lot of walk-through ones here. Obviously the penguins that you saw earlier, and there's the lemurs as well, but their walkway is currently closed due to COVID, which is absolutely understandable. But luckily, the good thing is with that is that they have paths all around the outside of the enclosure that you could usually walk through, so you can still get some decent views of them. But at the end of the day, they did advertise quite clearly when we booked our tickets that some parts of the zoo today are going to be closed given the current circumstances, and that's fine. You know what you're going to expect when you buy your ticket, and at the end of the day, as long as they let you know about it, you can't grumble, can you? Because you've still chosen to book your tickets and come along. But no, though, so far I am really impressed. really, other zoos just don't have animal exhibits like this at all. I mean, a zoo I think about quite a lot is the one at Flamingo Land, and they just have nothing of the sort like this there at all. You know, there's nothing. I mean, even with flamingos, you know, you can't get up and close with them at all like you can here. It's very quiet as well today, which is good. So obviously, nice and out in the open outdoors, and it's very quiet, so don't need to put your mask on when you're wandering around outside. They've got some indoor sections as well that you can go into, but I think most of them are closed as well. But it's worth mentioning that if you don't want to go into the indoor areas and you're wanting to be a bit more cautious about COVID, then that's fine. You don't have to go into any inside sections here at all. The entrance to the park is all outside, so you've got nothing to worry about there. Just book a time slot. We've booked our time slot for 9:30 in the morning. I'd advise you do the same. Get here early, and there's barely anyone here at all. You've got tons of room to move around and see everything, and yeah, lots of space, which is what you want at the minute, isn't it? We've now worked our way right to the back of the zoo, and I think you can tell that in general they have started doing up the enclosures more towards the front of the zoo, and they're probably working their way back a bit more. Some of the enclosures back here do look slightly more tired, but I wouldn't say that any of them look particularly bad at all. Just that obviously when they get round to it, they'll probably refurb and make them look a bit more appealing and interesting. think that the birds is one of the things that Banham Zoo certainly does best. They've got loads of different species of them at the front of the park and here at the back too. They should look at doing something with the lorikeets though, just like what Flamingo Land and West Midlands Safari Park have done. And in the future when they get round, well, if they get round to you know, doing something more with these cages back here, they should kind of make a bit of a walkthrough attraction like they've done, where you can get a pot of nectar and you hold out a pot of nectar and they all fly up to you and land all over you, and yeah, it's really fun. It's a really cool experience. So I think that that's definitely something they could consider in the future. But yeah, though, if you like different types of birds and you're interested in them, then this is certainly the place for you, because they've got loads of species of them and a very diverse range as well.
In the wind. So she has to, if you watch her, she kind of turns that tail. It's fanned out for stability, and that helps. In the morning, she searches for those insects that are hiding in the cracks too. So on these rock faces is a great source of food. Now this is a rather strange thing for a bird of prey to do, and that's look for food. Most birds of prey wouldn't bother. Unless they can see food, they won't go and hunt it. But PJ here, she's got a really good brain. She's very intelligent. She knows that in these rocks is a really good source of food, and she's clever enough to look for it. Now to scratch those juices off. But to get to the fruit, she has to tiptoe through the treetops, a little bit like a tightrope walker. Yeah, she's got those long legs, and they help her to keep balanced. She puts her wings out. That keeps her upright. The tail's there for a bit of stability too. And it's not just fruit that she finds in the treetops though. Sometimes she'll be looking for some fruit and she'll stumble across a nest. Now these nests are built by birds we call weaver birds, and they're small, they're finch-like, and they build these nests using grasses and reeds. But they're built with entrance tunnels on the bottom to stop predators. But as you can see, she's clever. And you'll see why he's a terrible flying bird, because he is an armadillo. 20 miles per hour. I can assure you I can't. But we're going to have a race. And that race, I'm going to get a head start. We're going to go all the way home. Go, look at his little legs. Where's he gone? Run, and he'll run from danger straight into his burrow, away from anything dangerous, to keep himself safe. The pressure on, she's going to wear prey out very easily. And they're clever, these birds. They use their area to their advantage. She's using the trees. She's using the sun if it was out. She'd fly into the sun, and she would use it to blind prey. That would work today if the sun came out, because Andy's not got his sunglasses on. But luckily, she here at Banham Zoo, she works the same as she is in the wild, and that's picking her.
The bird show was absolutely great, and I think it's really good that they brought the animal show into it in a way as well. And they had the armadillo in there too, rather than just ditching that completely, because obviously they can't do that inside at the minute, which is fair enough. So I like the fact that they combined the two, and I just thought it was a really enjoyable show. It went on for quite a while. They did some really good tricks, and they told you quite a lot about the different birds, and I just found it really interesting, to be honest. I think they do quite a few more shows than that in the park as well. So I think that if you wanted to spend more time doing those, then you could certainly fill a full day here as well. But I think that's kind of the main show that they do. I think that's the only one that they've got a set out arena for. They do that sea lion show as well, where obviously it's all out in the open where you can watch them train too. But I think that is the star show at the park. hope that over the last 20 minutes I've given you a good idea on what you can expect from when you visit Banham Zoo. I've featured all of the main bits of the park that you should check out when you're there, but I have tried to be balanced as well, showing you some of the areas in which they still could improve, such as with some of the older animal exhibits in the back of the park. I don't think it's bad value at all for £20, and you could certainly film more than the 4 or so hours that we did there if you check out some of the other smaller shows and animal feeds as well, and also if you check out some of the indoor areas. With a high variety of animals, great location, very friendly staff, reasonably priced food and a good price in general, I'd recommend that you take the time to visit Banham Zoo. A destination park that you should travel hours out of your way to visit? Of course not, but it's absolutely worth your time if you're in the area. Thank you very much for watching, and if you did like today's video, then please like it. Be sure to check out my blog and shop where you can get 10% off with the code TPJ350, and for theme park pictures, follow me on Instagram and Facebook. The links to all of those are in the description.